Hi dear students. In previous class you have learnt about the reactions of phenols, right? So in today's class, in reactions of phenols you have learnt about certain named reactions when what will happen when phenol treated with a dilute nitric acid, and what will happen when phenol treated with a concentrated nitric acid, and what will happen when treated with bromine in different experimental conditions, Kolbe's reaction, Reimer-Diamond reaction, and reaction with a phenol with a zinc dust, oxidation of phenol by chromic acid, right? Uses of phenols. So today's last class of this lesson is ethers. Okay, ethers. You are familiar with the ethers. Okay, in first class itself I have explained about ethers. What is the general formula of ethers? What is the classification of ethers and the nomenclature? How we can give the name for ethers? Nomenclature, classification, override in the first class itself. But I will tell some information about ethers today. Okay. Ethers. What is the general formula of ethers? R, O, or dash. Right? What is a classification? They are classified as two types: symmetrical or simple ethers, unsymmetrical or mixed ethers. Symmetrical means symmetrical ethers and unsymmetrical. Symmetrical or simple ethers, unsymmetrical ethers or mixed ethers. Symmetrical means R is equal to R dash. Unsymmetrical means R is not equal to R dash. Okay. Can you give me the examples of symmetrical? CH3O CH3, dimethyl ether, CH3O C2H5, ethyl methyl ether. R is not equal to R dash. This is about symmetrical ethers and unsymmetrical ethers. Nomenclature you have familiar. So today's class is general methods of preparation. How we can prepare the ethers. Okay, general methods of preparation. General methods of preparation. General methods of preparation. General methods of preparation. In your syllabus, the first one is by dehydration of ethanol. By dehydration of ethanol, how we can prepare the ethers? Number one is by dehydration of ethanols. Okay. Dehydration means removal of water molecule. Okay. If I take ethanol, CH3, CH2OH, in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid and H2SO4, in the pressure at the pressure of 443 Kelvin, removal of water will taken place. From here one H, OH minus H2O, we are going to get as ethene, CH2 double bond CH2. Not we are going to get ethers. Okay. What will happen? What I have to do to get a ethers? Ether. We have to take a 2 moles, right? 2 molecules of ethanol I have to take here. CH3 CH2OH plus CH3 CH2OH. 2 molecules of ethanol when treated with H2SO4 by decreasing the temperature to 413 Kelvin. Temperature should be less. Okay. Then what will happen with the removal of water will taken place in the formation of what? Ethers, right? CH3 CH2 O CH2 CH3. This is diethyl ether, diethyl ether or ethoxyethane. So this is about by dehydration of ethanol. How we can prepare the ethers by ethanol means you have to write this. Okay. So the next one is Nemood reaction. Williamson's ether synthesis. Repeated question. Williamson's ether synthesis. Williamson's ether synthesis. Williamson's ether synthesis. In your syllabus, general reaction for aliphatic and phenolic ethers. Both you have to write. Okay, fine. Williamson's ethers. It is an important laboratory method for the preparation of symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. Williamson's ether synthesis is a laboratory method for the preparation of symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. What will happen when alkyl halide reacts with sodium alkoxide? Okay, sodium alkoxide, alkyl, sodium alkoxide, ethers will form with a removal of NaX, right? Or O or dash with the removal of NaX, sodium salts, right? This is a general formula. You have to write for both aliphatic and phenolic ethers. You have to take examples for both. If I take CH3Cl plus sodium alkoxide or CH3ONe, you can take number of examples, okay? Gives rise to CH3OCH3 with the removal of NaCl, right? Sodium chloride. This is a aliphatic ether. You can take number of examples like C2H5, you are going to get diethyl ether, okay? Or ethyl, methyl ether, whatever you can take here. CH3, you can take C2H5, ethyl, methyl ether you will get there. Oh, this is an example of aliphatic ethers. If I take an example of phenolic ethers, what will happen? Wait. General reaction I have to write for phenolic ethers, right? So general reaction I will write now. Phenol reacts with NaOH. What we are going to get? Sodium phenoxide, right? ONa, right? Sodium phenoxide. When sodium phenoxide treated with the alkyl halide, what will happen? Phenolic ethers will form with the removal of NaX. Minus NaX, phenolic ethers. OR, right? So if I take an example of methyl chloride, OH reacts with NaOH, sodium phenoxide will get, here we are gonna get sodium phenoxide, Na, when treated with Cl, or you have to take CH3Cl. With the removal of NaCl, we are going to get methoxybenzene, OCH3, right? This is a common name is anisole, okay? Anisole. Write the structure of anisole means you have to write OCH3 group directly attached to benzene ring. This is a methoxy. CH3O group is methoxybenzene and anisole. This is about phenolic ethers, okay? Williamson's ether synthesis. ethers can also be prepared by monohaloalkane and silver oxide. Okay, silver oxide Ag2. When treated alkyl halide when treated with the silver oxide, we are going to get ethers. Okay, I will write general reaction. You have to write on your own by taking an examples. When alkyl halide treated with Ag2O, silver oxide, Ag2O, I am writing Ag2O like this. Ag2O, silver oxide, again treated with another molecule of alkyl halide. What will happen? See. RO R dash, you can take your number. RO R dash with a removal of 2 molecules of AgX, silver salts. Right? This is about how we can prepare ethers from silver oxide. When alkyl halide treated with the silver oxide, we are going to get ethers. You can write examples. CH3Cl plus Ag2O plus Cl you can take here, C2H5 you can take here. You are going to get as CH3O C2H5 with the removal of 2 molecules of silver chloride. See here, ethyl methyl ether. Ethyl methyl ether. This is about how we can prepare ethers from the silver oxide. So the next one is physical properties of ethers. Physical properties of ethers. Physical properties based on boiling points and solubility. Okay, dimethyl ether and methyl ether are gases at room temperature. The other members are colorless volatile liquids. Only dimethyl ether and methyl ether are the gases at room temperature, and other members are liquids, colorless liquids. Okay, this is the one point. Ethers have much lower boiling points when compared to alcohols. Ethers are sparingly soluble in water. The solubility decreases with increase in their molecular mass. The solubility decreases when the molecular mass of ethers increases. Okay, this is about the physical properties based on solubility and boiling point. Solubility means ethers are sparingly soluble. The solubility decreases when the molecular mass increases. And they have much lower boiling points when compared to alcohols. This is about the physical properties of ethers. So the chemical reactions. What are the chemical reactions of ether? How they react with chemicals? Chemical properties of ethers. Chemical properties of ethers. In your syllabus, discuss the reaction of ethers with HX, hydrogen halides. How they react with hydrogen halides. Okay, fine. Ethers are the least reactive of the functional groups. The cleavage of CO bond in ethers takes place under drastic conditions. Whatever the CO bond is present in a ethers takes place under drastic condition with the excess of hydrogen halides. The reaction of dialkyl ether gives two alkyl halide molecules. When reacts with hydrogen halides, they have mentioned here hydrogen halides. Ethers RO R dash reacts with hydrogen halides. What will happen with the formation of RX plus R dash OH? Okay, alkyl halide and alcohols will form when ethers react with hydrogen halides. You can write the examples. Okay, like this, when alcohol reacts with hydrogen halide, what will happen? RX plus with a removal of water. You know the well-known reaction, right? But ethers, when react with hydrogen halide, we are going to get alkyl halide and alcohols. You can write the examples. CH3O C2H5 plus HCl. What we are going to get is CH3Cl plus C2H5OH. So here methyl chloride and ethyl alcohol, ethanol we are going to get. Like this you can write the number of examples. What will happen when phenolic ethers reacts with hydrogen halide? What will happen? Phenolic ethers. This is a phenolic ether. When reacts with hydrogen halide, what we are going to get as phenol with the removal of alkyl halide. Phenol we are going to get with the removal of alkyl halide. You can take examples. I am taking here anisole OCH3. When treated with a HCl hydrogen chloride, I am going to get as phenol OH with the removal of CH3Cl, methyl chloride, alkyl halide. Okay, this is about how the ethers react with hydrogen halides. And so also the order of reactivity of hydrogen halides is as follows. Hi is greater than HBr and HBr is in turn greater than HCl. Okay. This is the order of reactivity of hydrogen halides is as follows. Hi is greater than HBr, HBr is greater than HCl. This is a chemical reactions. The next one is electrophilic substitution reactions for anisole. So here the phenolic ether, the wonderful phenolic or a basic phenolic ether is anisole. So electrophilic substitution reactions of anisole. See, benzene ring, whenever in a compound benzene ring is there, they undergoes electrophilic substitution reactions, or because of resonance structure they will undergo electrophilic substitution reactions. Electrophilic substitution reactions. See, the phenols are more acidic than alcohols, like that. However, the ethers are somewhat less reactive than phenols in the substitution reactions. Therefore, they will undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. So, the number one is halogenation. In that, in your syllabus, bromination is there. Okay, you are going to add only bromine. Number one is electrophilic substitution reaction for anisole. Electrophilic substitution reaction for anisole. Substitution reaction for anisole. The number one is halogenation. Halogenation. In that, bromination is there in your syllabus. Okay, halogenation, bromination. Anisole reacts with bromine in acetic acid to give a mixture of orthobromoanisole and parabromoanisole. Phenol, anisole. I am taking here 2 moles and reacts with Br2 in presence of acetic acid CH3COOH to give a mixture of orthobromoanisole and parabromoanisole. OCH3, this is orthobromoanisole, and this is parabromoanisole with the removal of, I have to take here 2 moles. So 2 moles of HBr with the removal of 2 moles of HBr, right? This is orthobromoanisole and parabromoanisole. Anisole reacts with bromine in acetic acid to give a mixture of orthobromoanisole and parabromoanisole. See, the chemistry, you have to practice. That's okay. You have to practice each and every reaction. That too, it is organic chemistry. So many named reactions are there. You have to practice on your own. That's it. So number 1B is halogenation. Sorry, number B is nitration. You are familiar with the nitration. What is nitration? You are going to add nitro group, right? So nitration. What is a nitrating mixture? B is nitration. When anisole means, you have to take anisole only, OCH3. When anisole reacts with mixture of concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4, gives orthonitroanisole and paranitroanisole with a removal of what, right? Like this, you have to take HNO3 plus concentrated HNO3, nitrating mixture, concentrated HNO3 and concentrated sulfuric acid. You are going to get orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Paranitrophenol with the removal of 2 molecules of water. You have to take care 2 moles and 2 moles. Equation is balanced. Anisole reacts with mixture of concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4 to give a mixture of orthonitroanisole and paranitroanisole. Whatever there in your syllabus, I am going to do that only. I am not doing any extra. Whatever in your textbook also, and whatever you have in Xerox notes, like that. Whatever in your syllabus block contains, I am going to do that. That's it. Okay. This is about bromination and nitration. So there are Friedel-Crafts reactions. In that we have to write acylation and alkylation. Friedel-Crafts reactions. Friedel-Crafts reaction. If you practice for a chlorobenzene in a haloalkanes and haloarenes, here it is very easy for you. So number 1 is I am going to do acetylation. Alkylation. We are going to add one alkyl group. When anisole treated with methyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous. Friedel-Crafts reagent though. Which is a Friedel-Crafts reagent? Anhydrous aluminium chloride, AlCl3. Anhydrous aluminium chloride we are going to get as I told. What is the name of this compound? When CH3 is added, let us look at this compound is toluene. OH3. See here, 2-methoxytoluene. This one is 1, 2. 2-methoxytoluene and 4-methoxytoluene. The OH group, CH3 group is present in para position OCH3. 4-methoxytoluene with a removal of 2 molecules of HCl. Okay, this is about alkylation. For anisole, you are going to add only alkyl groups. See here, when I get ortho position, that should be a minor product. This is minor, that is major. Friedel-Crepes reaction. This is about alkylation. Then what about acylation? You are going to add COCH3 group to anisole. Acid chloride you have to take, acetyl chloride you have to take right now. When anisole treated with acetic chloride or acetic chloride in presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride AlCl3, what will happen? Orthomethoxyacetophenone COCH3, are going to add COCH3 group, right? So I told if the COCH3 group is directly attached to the benzene ring, this is acetophenone. Okay, this is anisole. 1, 2-methoxyacetophenone and COCH3 group present on para position. So COCH3 here. COCH3. This is anisole OCH3. So 4-methoxyacetophenone with the removal of HCl. So this is about Friedel-Crepes reaction, alkylation and acylation. Again, this is a major, this is a minor product, this is a major product. This is about electrophilic substitution reactions for anisole. So the last one is uses of ethers. Uses of ethers. Uses of ethers. Uses of ethers. I will tell you how to note. It is used as a refrigerant. It is used as a refrigerant. We will use in refrigerants. It is used as a solvent for oils, gums and resins. It is used for solvent for oils, gums and resins. It is used as a local anesthetic. It is used for freezing mixture in the form of ether and dry ice. Okay, dry ice and ethers, freezing mixture. So it is used as solvent in many organic synthesis. Example in ethers, Woods reaction, Woods-Wittig reaction, and the preparation of Grignard reagent, we are going to use ethers, right? So this is a uses of ethers. Local anesthetics, refrigerant, solvent for oils and gums. It is used as local anesthetics, freezing mixture in the form of ether and dry ice. This is about the lesson alcohols, phenols and ethers. Okay. See, all the reactions, whatever I explain in all the videos, you have to practice each and every reaction in your chemistry notes. Okay, then only you will get to know that. As I told, the chemistry is volatile subject, right? Easily it evaporates from your mind. If you keep on practicing, it is very easy for you. Okay. This is about, so the second lesson, alcohols and phenols and ethers. In our groups, for both boys and girls, I will send chemistry assignment 2. You have to write in a separate blue book, chemistry assignment 2. You have to write each question and answer. Okay. I will send all the important questions from this lesson. Okay. Thank you.